Hi, everybody. We're going to try to have fun on an otherwise very dreary, sad day. Let's just recap what's going on in the world, and then let's get our minds off of it and gossip and laugh and giggle and then go back to reality. Oh, I can't. So this is what's going on in Mexico. I'm sure you're all following that 7.1 or 7.2 earthquake. It just broke my heart. And then they just found 20 kids buried under a school. I don't know what ages they were. I don't know if they're elementary or high school. Can you imagine? I mean, just that, my life is over. That's just the worst. Those poor people. It makes me sick when I think about people making bad comments about Mexico, Mexican people. When I see something like that, it makes me sicker. Then, San Juan, Puerto Rico, under Hurricane 5. I lived there for 5 years in a penthouse, number 3, at the Hierosol, and I know Puerto Rico very well. I knew Lucayo, I know the beaches, I know Fajardo, Ponce, Guaynabo, Mayaguez. I've been in every city in Puerto Rico, including the little ones. I've probably been there with my skincare products in the early 90s, late 80s. And I know all those people so well, and I know the way they live and their homes and the beaches, and it's just so sad. Then my neighbors in West Hollywood, 2 of them, you know, Jim Brown, my one neighbor, the football player, and his wife Monique, and then Jeff Engage, my other neighbor, live on one side and one on the other, up and down the hill. Fires in Burbank. And would you believe that they're telling me that the ashes were on their patios and porches from the fires in Burbank? That's how close it is to our house. Imagine the ash. You go outside and you have ashes all on your deck. I can't. Then let's go to Hurricane Irma. Now, we've already been through Hurricane Harvey, which devastated Houston, which we're still trying to make that donation. It's not going through that we committed, but we're working on that. But then Miami, this is my house. Now, the second floor of my house is like, what, 20 feet maybe? 30? No, it's like 30 feet. I don't know. It's like 2 stores, but they're probably 30 feet high. So here is the top of my house. Look how high the debris is piled up. And that's just like one section. It's like that all the way around my house and in every neighborhood and on every street as far as you can see in Miami. I heard this morning several people are just now getting Comcast. Jason just got electricity yesterday. But we're all feeling so lucky and blessed that we just had roof leaks and debris and a wall knocked down here and there. We had this office we boarded up with plywood. We had the Star Island house that we boarded up with plywood that has all the fences knocked down, some leaks. It had, you know, the debris is horrible. Then I had the Keys house that barely, I don't even know how it survives Key Largo. I mean, look at this.
Oh my God.
But don't feel too sorry for us, because while we were suffering through the storm, I'll tell you the Atlanta story later, Jason and his friends managed to move into my house and serve themselves fabulous breakfast, lunches, and dinners, because I'm in a non-hurricane zone. So this is day 1. Here's another day. So they didn't do bad, did they? But we opened our house up to anyone that was in an evacuation area. And we had several people that stayed there. And then we took off to Atlanta because I just had the opportunity to go at the last minute. So I stayed up the whole night before, making everything organized for whoever stayed at our house. I told the whole staff, we told Jason, we told their friends, and a few people stayed there. So I stayed up the whole night making that list for them, and packing the dogs so we could all go to Atlanta to get out of the house so they would have room. Plus, we got a hotel at the last minute in Atlanta. Well, I won't say it was a luxury hotel, it was a hotel, but we were lucky to have it. I felt lucky to have it with so many people that were out on the streets. They were coming. People would get to Atlanta. There weren't any more hotels. They were renting cars and driving to Nashville. When they couldn't get cars, they were, I don't know, Ubering it. Then people from North and South Carolina started coming in because they thought the storm was going to hit there. So it was chaos, and there were more people with dogs in Atlanta. There were more dogs and cats in Atlanta than there are at the zoo. I mean, look, I just took a few pictures. I mean, every time you turn around, this one you can't see, but this one had the most beautiful little dog. I mean, there were just everywhere you look, there were dogs and cats and dogs and dogs. And then Howard and Sharon sent me a picture of their dog. I don't know how they landed that. They got on the last flight out, and they managed to put their dog. And Howard said, well, I just got up to take the picture, so I'll let the dog stretch out in my seat. Isn't that the cutest thing?
Oh, no, he was just...
Yeah, just for the photo, I think. Oh, my God. So, then wow, I love Atlanta. Look at this. More dogs.
Oh, my God.
More dogs. I mean, everywhere you look, there were just dogs and dogs and more dogs. And I love it because I think you should be able to take your dogs everywhere. They're better than people. They, at least most of them don't bite you. Most of them are loyal. So I was like devastated that we come back and now you got to be sneaking your dog into the restaurant under your scarf. By the way, is everyone noticing my scarf again? This is, what is it, Swedlow?
Swedrow.
S-W-E-D-L-O-W.
S-E-W-R-O-E.
S-E-W-R-O-E.
R-O-E.
Ariel, A-R-I-L.
By
ByAriel.com. She's letting me use these scarves every day. I just love it so much. I'm like, oh man, I love it.
From New York is sending his hugs and kisses for him during this stressful time.
I know, but oh, it's just unbelievable. But you know, so here's a picture of our room. Oh my God. First of all, leave it to me. We're in a hotel in Atlanta, and there were 2 rooms. And, you know, we had to take the dogs back and forth between the rooms. And every time we did, you know, someone would walk in the hall and we'd disturb them or whatever. And there were lines of people trying to get into this hotel because it was not expensive. And every time I went down, there were lines of people and they were saying, come back in an hour, come back in 2 hours. So then I look across the street when I'm walking the dogs and I see a Ritz-Carlton. And I was like, well, maybe if I got to the Ritz, I could give up my room for somebody else. So I go to the Ritz and I start talking and talking and talking. I went over there every 2 hours for 2 days, and you're not going to believe it. I talked myself in to a small suite at the Ritz. I beat everybody. And here's our room. So Freda and RJ had a sofa bed and a roller bed, and then Roy and I had a king bed. We had 2 bathrooms, so we're very comfortable. I was like, well, this isn't so bad. And these other poor people, they needed the room. I did a good deed, right? But this one was on the 15th floor. And the Ritz, every hotel, but the Ritz, the lines for the elevator were 10 and 15 minutes. The lines for room service were like the wait was an hour and a half. The wait to get into a restaurant was an hour. I mean, the place was just packed and bursting at the seams in all directions, but everyone was upbeat and friendly and in a good mood and everything. So we decided, because we couldn't wait in the lobby with 200 other dogs, to go down the elevators with our dogs, because our dogs don't really like other dogs that much. Our dogs think they're the only dogs on the planet. So we decided we'd start taking the stairs. Well, we were on the 15th floor.
Oh my God.
So imagine walking down the stairs with 4 dogs, 15 floors, to a half a mile away to the park 3 times a day to let them go to the bathroom. And then it started raining. So we get umbrellas and we're walking the dogs under the umbrella. And you know, Roy Jr., he's never been in a storm, I don't think. He did not hold the damn umbrella. And Frey didn't either. So they get the back of the umbrella to the wind, and then the whole thing blows straight up. And then their umbrellas are blown straight up, and Roy and ours, because you know you have to push your umbrella into the wind. Right. So we've got, now Roy and I have 2 dogs each, and Frey and Roy Jr. are like covering their hair. I mean, it was just the biggest thing, getting those dogs. And then at one point I said, if I have to squat and pee under this umbrella to get these dogs to follow my lead, I am going to squat and pee. And they finally peed. I was like, they peed. Oh my God, it was just too much. And then we got home, and then the house, and I could just go on with the list. But then, so we had to board up that house and this house, the office, and then our house, and then you guys you didn't have electricity. I mean, it just went on. And then we had this little house at Key Largo, which was totally blown away at the end of the storm. This house is literally 5 feet from the water on the ocean side. And it's just a little house, not a big deal. Would you believe our house right here survived the storm? I cannot believe it. Everything is gone. And our little house is right there. I tell one, we need to open it up for like a food and rescue bed and bath or something for poor people. Okay, so now, I mean, poor people that don't have homes, not that they're poor. Key Largo is a very nice place. I get myself in so much trouble just saying something. Oh, God, you got to be so careful. Okay, good. So now let's change the subjects. Who watched
He said RJ knew if he did that, he wouldn't have to go through this again.
That's exactly right. You are 100% right, whoever said that.
Maria Del Pedro.
That's what Roy and RJ do. They pretend they can't do anything, and they pretend they're helpless, so we all do everything for them. Because it's easier just to do it than to argue with them on how to do it. I mean, Roy couldn't do, if it doesn't require 7 years of higher education and a book, he cannot do it. He cannot do it. And Roy Jr. is very much the same way. I'm like, last night, Roy Jr. shoved the freezer in. Fred and I had to take everything out, put it in the garage, clean it out because he had his tutor, so he couldn't help do it because he shoved it in and got something behind it. Well, Mom, I wouldn't know how to do that. Well, come and learn. Come and learn. You know, that's how they do things to get out of it. It's just awful. Anyway, in Atlanta, I love the spirit of Atlanta. I just love it. Look at this. This little guy has this. There's a piano that sits outside all the time, and this guy sits and plays it. Isn't that great? So we give him a tip and everything. And then I don't know what happens when it rains. I mean, do they cover it? I don't know. But one day Roy said he was walking down the piano, past the piano to walk the dogs with RJ, and he made RJ sit and play the piano for 20 minutes. RJ was so mad. I said, it's time to practice your piano. We're not paying for these lessons for nothing. He plays really well, by the way, but he doesn't really like it. You know what? I do a lot of things I don't like to do. Suck it up. So then let's go to something fun, the Emmy Awards. But anyway, Atlanta. Isn't Atlanta great? I love Atlanta. And, you know, I tried to get in the old lady gang because I just wanted to go to support Candy. And I called over there. It was sold out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 or 4 days in a row. I'm like, well, she doesn't need any support. Obviously, they're doing very well. So I didn't go. I would have gone. But anyway, so here come the Emmy Awards. Now, what do you guys think? Who thought it was funny that they brought out Spicer, and who thought that they were normalizing him and that they should have booed him? What do you guys think?
I think that in this temperament and environment, that it probably wasn't the best thing for them to do, because Hollywood is part of the reason that Trump got elected. And then they brought out his mouthpiece and validated him making fun of the crowds. I mean, I understand.
What do you think, Jason?
I didn't left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I thought that it was just...
I will say I laughed.
It's funny and I get it, but at the same time, it's like, you know what, you're not...
They're normalizing a guy that's standing up and lying on behalf of the United States government and White House. On the other hand, it was hilarious. It was funny. You know, I like Spicy because here's how I feel about Spicy. I don't agree with anything with him lying to the public. I don't agree with him stretching the truth. I don't agree with him. But imagine that I guess he's 40, 50 years old. You spent your whole life trying to get this job. This is the job of your dream. You work your way through the ranks. You go out on the street. You hit the trenches. You work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you get this job, and it turns out that you're working for a fucking lunatic. And you've got to do these things and say these things, and you don't want to lose the job the first week because you're thinking, like the rest of the world, the guy's going to change, he's going to get better, he's going to become normal, and he doesn't. He just gets worse and worse and worse. So he should have left sooner, I think. And I think it was kind of a slap in the face to the journalism and the press people that they brought him out and made it a highlight of it. But on the other hand, their job is to entertain, and it was funny. So I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah. Going to the close. Let's go to the best close.
Pretty much in agreement with you.
With me? Oh, good. Well, you see, I'm pretty logical. I really can be logical. I just have this whole thing in the background that we've got this, lunatic guy running the world. It's scaring me. Anyway. So Robin Wright, she looked fabulous, I thought, in that dress. Mm-hmm. I could have done without the extra little points at the top of that dress. It just was a distraction. I think it would have been better if it was just more clean cut and simple. And then Jane Fonda knocked it out of the park. She's 79 years old. The only person in Hollywood older than me.
Did you have
I didn't have the picture, but she wore
$2 million in
diamonds and emeralds going down the back. I wish I had a picture. But look, that looks exactly like one of my handbags on LeahBlack.com. And I don't know who this girl is because I don't even follow any of them. But this is, I don't know if I like it or not, but it was certainly whimsical and fun. And, I don't know. It was for a young girl. It was cute. Maybe, I don't know. It was fun. I don't know. It was all right. This was very elegant. Who is this girl? I don't even know. She's very pretty. I mean, the dress was just exquisite. All the big diamonds on the cuffs, and you know, look at the shape these women stay in. They don't eat. That's why I have those parties in LA. I put out all this food and they don't eat. I send it all home with everybody, but they drink.
I want to know who Jane Fonda's surgeon is. I agree.
She is just gorgeous. Forget her surgeon. Just the fact she's in shape like that she can carry a dress like that she's just everything about her.
And she has a hilarious sitcom on Netflix.
Oh, which one is that?
It's Frankie and Grace.
Frankie and Grace. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I forgot. I can't hooked on another show. I can't get hooked on another show. I can't. But yeah, I'm sure she's great. Then there's Sophia. Always fun and adorable. We love her. We all know her from Miami. Only thing is, to be honest with you, this looks like a wedding dress to me. I would have liked it in another color. You know what I mean? I think it's a great. She always wears those mermaid dresses. They always make her body perfect. But it's just in the white. It just looked like a wedding dress, you know? So I would have liked to have seen it, in another color. Something that wasn't white wedding-ish. Now, let's go from the class to the... What in the hell was this one thinking? What is wrong with these people? What stylist, mother, friend, sister let her walk out the door with that? And then she's got those shoes that break the ankle, which break the whole line, and those thick platforms to try to make you look taller, which I find ridiculous, unless you're like maybe in a photo shoot or something. And then that... Oh, she's just missed it. And then the hair.
She wore something to the people.
She looks like Elvira. She looks like Elvira. Now, here's another class. This is a classy beauty. Look, she just knocked it right out of the park. We got two of her. She looks gorgeous.
Down the middle.
What?
Looks like an elephant trunk down the middle.
Yeah, something wrong. It's just something. Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary. So, isn't she gorgeous, though?
Oh, God.
I usually am not crazy about jewelry attached to a dress, but let me tell you, the length of the dress, the fitting, the color, just beautiful and very bold. A lot of women that have kind of red hair don't wear red. You know, it was very beautiful. And then here we go again. Now, this was Carolina Herrera, and I love Carolina Herrera, but this girl looks like she's going to an Amish church on Sunday. Yeah, and I love her. And that dress looks like some tinfoil that got caught up in the hurricane.
I'm sure the fabric's beautiful.
I'm sure it is. Didn't photograph well. It was just too much. You know, the sleeves just took away from it. They did say that? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, and it's too bad, but she just looks sad and dreary and, I don't know, whatever. Oh, I forgot to show you this. You know, while we're walking the dogs, RJ, Roy, and I constantly, what do you think Freda was doing? And this isn't the truth. The entire time. She laid in that bed, ordered room service, and had her dog there. Meanwhile, the hotel didn't offer maid service except upon request, so I'm changing the sheets, changing the towels, cleaning the house, ordering the room service, running down to Subway to get the sandwich for her, running, getting food, milk, got ice chest, ice for everybody, and she's just laying there like that.
Rita got a nice vacation.
Look at this. This is what she did the whole time. I was like, you know what? By the time I try to speak Spanish enough to coax her to do something, let me just make the beds. Now, speaking of art, here's another one. Remember that guy that sat on those eggs and hatched them? This guy is an artist. I don't know what in the hell he's going to do with this, but do you know what he's doing? He's filling up these whatever these are, these canisters, with pee. He's peeing in these things every day to make some art with it.
Oh, gross.
What is wrong with people? And then who's collecting their own pee? Oh, God, I can't.
I thought it was
Andy
Trump's
Warhol
vacation home in Russia.
paintings many years ago.
Oh, he did? Well, maybe he's trying to be the new Andy. I don't know.
Oh, I doubt it.
So who's watching the Housewives show? We're running out of time. I'm going to pick it up here. So season 3, before I get into that, apparently, according to Jeff Lewis told me, that the Real Housewives of Miami season 3 marathon starts at 7 a.m. Of course, they're starting at 7 a.m. Who's awake? They always screwed with our schedule. what is it, Thursday? Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 7 a.m. So they're going to have season 3 marathon, so you guys can all watch that. Huh?
Is it Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern Time, 7 a.m. probably. And then it's going to go until 6. And then at 6 p.m., Flipping Out is going to be on, I guess, the last 2 episodes, of which the last one is when I got in trouble with my big mouth. Now, let me just clarify that. They said something about bartenders, and I said, well, we're not going to have any fat bartenders. I was just making a joke. I mean, I'm fat. Everybody's fat. So, but what I meant really is, in West Hollywood, I mean, if you have any body fat on you in West Hollywood, you're a tourist. They don't have any fat people there because no one eats, and they work out all the time, and they go to the gym all the time, and then they get a massage, and then they go to Pilates, and then they get a facial, and they get a manicure, and then they get a pedicure, and then they get, what do you call chiropractor service, and they go back to the gym, and they get a protein shake, and then that's what they do. This is their routine. So there is no fat in West Hollywood. So don't take it personal. If you're overweight and you want to get skinny, just move to West Hollywood. Anyway, but then Flipping Out's going to be on, so that was my big mouth comment about that. Oh, and then everyone complained about everybody. Oh, they did? Yay! Well,
and one person did say, you are your own culture.
What does that mean? I am my own culture?
You're your own person.
Oh, okay, good. Well, then Little Black will be back on Flipping Out again, which can irritate Jeff again. By the way, there wasn't a crumb on the couch. I put magazines down before I put his food on it. So if there were any crumbs, they were on the magazines. So there were no crumbs on the couch. So that Flipping Out will be on starting at 6, and then the new one will be on at 9, and the new one is going to feature my friend Jackie, the Queen of Versailles, in the 95,000 square foot, $100 million mansion in Orlando that Jeff and the crew and me and Jenny and Gage and Megan and everybody went up there to see if Jeff wants to do that house and decorate it. How fun would that be? And everybody wants to follow up. Remember Jackie, the Queen of Versailles? They had their... In the Sundance Film Festival, they won the award that year for the best, documentary. Hi, baby, coming alive. You woke up. So anyway, now, meanwhile, the Real Housewives of Orange County. Oh, I see this. SWEDROE by ARIEL. It's available at .com, swim resorts and accessories. Not that I'm a walking commercial, but I love the idea that this little granddaughter of this iconic architect has taken it upon herself to take his iconic art and put it in jewelry and scarves and stuff. So anyway, it's not an advertisement. I'm getting paid or anything. But it's fabulous. So, of course they are. And then my LeahBlack.com pearls, my Leah.com, my Leah Black Beauty Skincare. Can I get any more shameless plugs in? Oh, so now who's watching Orange County? Oh, by the way, I hear Dallas is really good this year, but I just can't get sucked in. I'm not getting sucked into another show. But anyway, congratulations. I hope they do well. I love Dallas. I lived there for years. How old am I? My God, I lived in here. I lived there. If I'm adding, I'm going to be 100 soon. So anyway, so what I'm loving, Orange County. Well, Shannon is losing it. She's gone off the charts. I mean, what is she? My back. I hurt my back. You know what? I hurt my back, and I can hardly move. Lifting all this stuff to fix the house back from the hurricane. I literally can hardly move. I'm on Tylenol right now. But anyway, so Shannon has really, she's getting, she's on the defensive about everything. And I feel sorry for her husband because I think he's on eggshells all the time, and so he holds her hands. He goes, "You didn't hold it long enough, or you didn't hold it. You haven't been holding it often enough, or quinoa. Well, I prefer a steak. Well, what are you talking? You don't like my quinoa?" She's too defensive. She needs to let him be right once in a while, because I think in a relationship, when that goes for marriages and people, you can either be right or you can have a relationship, but you got to throw people a little bit of a recognition and acknowledgement once in a while. So now she's into it with Lydia, and then before that she was into it. She's always into it with Vicky. She blames Vicky on that weight. Well, I can believe that you can gain weight over an emotional upset. That makes sense. But I mean, you can't give her all the blame. But it's just too much. And I felt sorry for her because she's trying not to get into it with people, but she's becoming the new Forrest Gump. Just keeps getting into it. Lisa Rinna's going to retire. So anyway, from Forrest Gump times. But what's wrong, honey? You have to go to the restroom in a minute. But anyway, I'm liking the show. And And what is Kelly? What is that? Her boobs? She thinks are too big. Is that it?
Yeah, no.
Now, are those her real boobs, or those are the those are phony boobs? Well, any idiot that put those boobs in that big in the first place is an idiot. Who does that? Those are phony boobs. Well, who would put phony boobs that big in? She needs to go over to Botched and have them. Oh my God! Oh, who would do that? And then they're picking on little Lydia about her little boobs, and she's like, "Well, I don't really want to talk about it." And then Shannon's getting into it with her, and then they're trying to eat the cake, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's just a shit show."
It's a tit show.
A tit show. But then the one thing I did that kind of bothered me is I don't like it. I don't like an ambush or a setup on these shows. I think it needs to be organic. And for me, and maybe I'm wrong, Gretchen showing up looking like she's going to the Oscars with Slade, whom I like them. They've been to my home. They're lovely people. With Lizzie, whom I don't know, cute. She was cute too. They show up with this guy, whoever he is. It's an ex-friend. He was in the wedding of Tamara. And then they start asking him if Eddie is gay. To me, that looked like a complete setup. And for that guy to say that after being best man in their wedding, whether it's true or not, if someone trust you enough to let you be the best man in their wedding, you don't later go talk trash about him. Keep your mouth shut. I don't think Eddie's gay. I know people that know him and swear that he's not. But, I mean, if you're that desperate for a storyline or to make somebody look bad, I mean, get a life. Get a life. I didn't like it. But then Vicky said she didn't have anything to do with inviting him. And then, you know, I've always defended Vicky. I'm still on the fence about how much she knew about the cancer or the non-cancer of Brooke. So I've always defended her. She came to our gala. The first year she was on the show, she came all the way here to our gala to walk the red carpet. I'm a fan of hers. But then here comes this text. This guy puts a text out, and it says, yeah, your party sounds absolutely fabulous. Love you. Does the production know I'm coming? Tamara swore to never be filmed again. She has no clue. Production just said invite your close friends. So she didn't know he was coming. What?
Real Mr. Housewife.
That came from Real Mr. Housewife blog. Real Mr. Housewife gets the most gossip. I think him and Perez Hilton, and I mean, of course, TMZ gets a lot of gossip. But so she didn't know that he was coming, and I don't know if production knew or not. But I don't like those ambush things, and I don't like trying to have your storyline be at the expense of somebody else. If you can't back something up, don't throw it out there, you know. But anyway, if I were Tamara, I would just blow it off. I wouldn't get all mad about it. I wouldn't probably trust the people that were saying it, but I wouldn't get all upset about it because, you know, it's just, who's going to believe it anyway? And who cares? Who cares if the guy was gay for 20 years? I don't. I think it makes it more interesting. Anyway, so.
Asking about your chair, I think they saw the pillow behind it, and they were wondering what the pillow says.
Oh, yeah. Hold it. I can't move because I hurt my back. This one says, I can deal with a lot. I can't deal with stupid. That was one of my taglines. And that's the other side of it. And then there's here's the other one. This was another one. I care a lot. I care about a lot of things, but what other people think about me isn't one of them. Notice I said think about me. You can think all the trash you want, but if you start talking, you better be able to back it up. Okay, guys. Well, we had fun. Did I miss anything? One more question.
I want to know what is Big Black? I mean, Little Black. What is it?
He's a toy poodle that my friend Fran gave us because she had 2 dogs already, and she got this one. Her husband said no, so she gave me this dog, and then I have 2 rescue dogs and one that the decorators gave Freda a dog.
Oh, that's right.
Buddy. So now it's got 4. Like we needed another dog. So we got 4 dogs. Two rescues. One was kind of a rescue because they didn't have a home for it, and then this one was a little gift. Oh. Okay, guys, did we have fun? Was it fun? Listen, tune in. Pray for the universe. The universe is screaming, help, pay attention, enough, don't destroy me anymore. I don't know if you can't see it all before your eyes right now, I don't know what to tell you, but study the science and don't listen to the quacks. What?
And just donate to...
Oh, and donate!
Donate to American Red Cross or United
All
Way.
of them. All of them. And then if you have things you don't need, like we packed up tons of boxes and shipped them to Houston. If you have things you don't need, pack them up and send them. If you don't have money, you don't want to ship them, you can call a Target in like Puerto Rico or Houston or wherever and tell them the minute you get delivery, here's $200 or $10 or $500 or whatever you can. Deliver toilet tissue, deliver paper towels, deliver canned goods. There are all kinds of ways to donate. So anyway, guys, keep the lava coming. We'll see you next Wednesday at noon. Lunch with Leah and Little Black. Oh, and don't forget to watch tomorrow the marathon, Miami's marathon, and then flipping out tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I don't even know what's on there. I'm sure my big mouth with Jackie, there's no telling how much trouble we're going to get into. Bye.